2026 edition of the Strathroy-Caradoc Community Development Advisory Committee. I am your new chair, Jagger Benham, and we will start with our roll call. I know that councillors Palmer and Wilsey are absent, as well as member Derbyshire, but that said, we do have a quorum. Okay. All right, so we'll move then to item number 2 on our agenda, approval of the agenda. Any comments or questions? Can I get a mover and a seconder then? Councillor Pupman, and seconded by member Richards. All in favor of the agenda? Approved. Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have any declarations at this time? Moving on. And the approval of the minutes from the May 12th, 2026 CDAC meeting. Any comments or questions? Can I get a mover and a seconder then? Councillor Pupman, thank you. Seconded. Member Frechenda, thank you. All right, we'll move on to number 5, reports of committees and departments. And we'll start with item 5.1. It's the PTP 2026 list of projects updated. So who is going to speak with us about that? Member Lattimore.
Thanks. Nothing really to update on this list. We have the project with the museum and HCC that is getting close to completion, and actually setup is going on right now. As we mentioned, that soft open on June 15th and the official opening on June 24th. I did go over there and look what they've got. It's really cool. So if you get a chance, go over and take a look at it. It's gonna be...
Can you just explain what it is, if there, in case there's any viewers or members of the public watching?
Yeah, for sure. Strathroy in full color and sound is, I think, what we've named it. And the school has created both a tactile and digital presentation that shows the history of Strathroy. So I think a little bit of Caradoc in there as well, but with a heavy Strathroy focus. So without giving it away, there's a few different displays that you can see that will show some of the significant things that have happened in history, and they've got projectors that will put some of these things on the walls. Some of them are very hands-on games that you can do, so it's, like I said, without totally giving it away, it's something that'll be really, really cool and fun to come see. The other approved project, I'll throw this over to you, Darren, for the Pavilion Alliance.
Thanks, Paul. Yes, last council meeting, the $15,000 was approved to match the donation of up to $15,000 through the Strathroy Lions Club for a shade structure at the splash pad. This is a project that will likely be carried into 2027 with HCC coming on board with the home build program to complete the construction of this project as well. So that'll be a project that's carried in our budget to 27 to be completed.
Okay, any comments or questions?
I'll just throw it. I don't know if any of the members have any projects that they've pursued with anyone in the community. As we approach lame duck period, this will be on hold, so we won't get back to possible approvals probably until around November. So we'll probably see this on hold unless we have something that comes up in the near future.
Any comments or questions? Seeing none. Move on to, excuse me, item 6 then, new business. Item 6.1, events market update. Is that for you, Member Topham? Go ahead.
So 6.1.1 is the ad hoc market advisory committee update. So we did meet as a committee and went through some of how the market operates and some ideas and things that we're going to do this year. So we are moving ahead with our online storefront. So it's a marketplace that will be for the downtown Strathroy market, but each of our vendors can put their own stock. They'll have their own stores under our umbrella. So we're working towards that with the Ontario Food Network. So that's something we're going to try this year. And then we're also working on a weekly recipe card that people will be handed as they come in, and then they can buy the ingredients from the vendors to make something. So some good ideas came out of the meeting, and we'll see where that goes.
Comments or questions? I do have a question, I guess. I've noted that it seems as though the market has been sort of halved off the last couple of weeks. Has there been just less availability for vendors or other reasons?
Yeah, so a lot of our produce vendors don't start actually coming until July when more produce comes in. So this week we're still only on Front Street. Next weekend for Hometown Festival, we do have double the amount of people, and there's going to be a bike parade at the market, so it'll be both streets. And then I believe the week following that, I'm not actually sure, and then the first week of July is the Pride flag raising, so we'll be closed on the 2 streets again then.
Member for Chenda, you have a question?
Do for Kate. How did it work out for you guys? Had that last, like that cancellation for that Saturday due to rain and everything, and you moved it to the Sunday. How was volume on the Sunday for people coming in?
So members of the public coming out was pretty average, definitely down from a Saturday, but we only had 10 vendors. So many of the businesses that are participants are closed on Sundays, or they couldn't change when they were coming. So we only had like 10 to 13 vendors actually came, but we had about, I'd say probably 400 to 500 people came, and a lot of the vendors sold out, so that was good.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll just make the comment that although the market is visibly smaller, there's a higher percentage of people selling stuff. And I don't, in talking to the people, I've been down there every weekend, nobody seems really disappointed that it's only one block. So I think the vendors have been pretty happy from what I've talked to them, and definitely the Rusty Ranch and Ojo's and Jura's have clued in that there's people walking past their door and are picking up business. So.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, then we'll move on to the item 6.1.2 BYOE update. What would that be?
That'll be me.
Move on, thank you.
We brought a report to the June 1st council meeting with regards to the bring your own events, respectfully referred to as BYOB, bring your own booze. Beverage, sure. I call it the way it is right now. The staff aren't in a position to support it, and neither was council at the meeting. This was just an information report. We have had some further follow-up with some folks from the AGCO, and we will be bringing back an amendment to our municipal alcohol policy under the section titled Events Not Eligible for Special Occasions Permit, and we're going to add the BYOE, Bring Your Own Event applications, so that we're 100% sure that the ability to bring your own alcohol will be prohibited. So,
comments or questions? Councillor Bolton?
So that would be only on municipal property though, correct?
that is correct, yes.
Yeah, I made the comment at council that the insurance ramifications for us are just enormous. And I would not want to put any of our staff members let alone the volunteers who are running events in the crosshairs of somebody bringing an enormous amount of alcohol in. You know, that's who it's going to be. It's going to be your heavy drinkers that will bring in 6 to 8 beers and then leave intoxicated. Or perhaps you're dealing with fights that might break out because people are ramped up on their behavior. So yeah, really, yeah, I think it's a good idea to add that in there so it's a definite hard no.
The council report that I brought forward, that staff brought forward, talked about public safety enforcement, right? How do you enforce it?
Yeah.
Is a big challenge. The liability and risk management that Councillor Pelkman mentioned. Impact on event operations. A lot of these events are fundraisers for the organizations, right? One, alignment with community standards. Our municipal alcohol policy focuses on family-friendly activities, right? So, and then the last item was limited local demand and uncertain benefits. We contacted every special event organizer that has alcohol-related activities on municipal lands, and not one of them was in support of pursuing this. So it's an easy recommendation to bring that amendment forward in the municipal alcohol policy. So,
Member for Chetton?
So, if somebody was to support having an event on the municipal property, apply for the application and everything else, how would that be posted out to know that that event is titled under that?
well, it wouldn't be because we wouldn't support it. Right? We would have to provide support, which we would not provide.
Okay, because I'm just going to mention, an observation that I had from last weekend going to the community events in Mount Bridges, an event that's only run from 10 till 2, work your way through all the businesses that are going on, your inflatables are there and everything else, umpteen garbage cans loaded with booze cans. That I know, like, and how do you monitor that is totally the whole problem, right?
Through the chair to Member Fashenda, when I've worked in other establishments, red Solo cups were the thing of the day, or coffee cups. Now it's Yeti coolers or whatever. We're not inspecting everybody that comes in. I don't want to say that everyone is doing it, but we'd be naive to think no one is doing it. So that's an enforcement bit on our part. We do have the Strathroy-Caradoc Police Service. If it becomes a problem, we'd be reaching out to them to come and enforce those laws that they have the ability to enforce. Right. Licensed events, we have paid security as well. So the market, you would see, I don't know how many security we have, 7 or so?
Between 4 and 6.
4 and 6, right? So they're at the entrances and so on. So the alcohol that is sold during the night markets are marked as sales from certain locations, so we know where the beverage was purchased. So if someone does get stopped and they don't have that identifiable marker on their cup, then we can proceed down a different path if we had to. So the night market, we didn't seem to have an excess. At least I didn't see when I was out working the tent. So.
I guess that would just be some of the unintended consequences of the loosening of alcohol rules and how that sort of would slide down to municipalities and how it would influence our own sort of policies and procedures regarding events with alcohol, I suppose. So it might take some time. I guess you'd agree that it would take some time to sort of go through some real-time incidences or events and then decide how we're going to sort of move on from there. Or we could sort of, go back to the policy and revisit it depending on, our experience?
I would suggest, based on what we know currently, that it's not something that from a staff's perspective that we'd be able to support or recommend to council. Council has their, at the end of the day, if council directs staff to permit it, then it would be permitted. I don't know of one municipality in the province of Ontario that has enacted this bring your own events policy or framework. I know there are some larger municipalities that permit drinking in parks. I'll use City of Toronto as an example, but there's a whole different framework that rolls around with that. So it is completely separate from the bring your own event permit. So.
Kate, go ahead.
We're working with all of the events as well to ensure that they have signage that says this is not a BYOE event, just for liability. So if people bring it in, then it's their personal liability. But if signage is posted and you've done everything you can, then that takes that kind of off of you as an event organizer.
I guess as a follow-up to that, are security personnel, are they authorized to sort of enforce like Liquor License Act, or what would sort of their limit be as far as enforcement for something like that?
So the security can ask people to leave the property. If the person is not leaving, then the police are involved. So events like Hometown Festival, Almost Canada Day, they're required to have paid duty police on site. So those situations would be removed by police. Same with security, can look into a bag, but they can't go through a bag. Something like that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions then for item 6.1.2? Member for Chen.
I'm wondering if some of it is just a generational thing as well. Those of us that are actually like listening to what that policy is about, brought down from the province and everything else, those that don't listen, don't care, don't educate themselves on it, because that's probably more of what the observation was during that event on Saturday. Being that most families are there, you're there with young kids, stuff like that, but a lot of it is, travel down to a said local establishment that sells stuff that you can walk out the door with and, land yourself in the Cenotaph Park and have it finished by then, right? So just an observation.
Anything else? Okay, we'll move on to item 6.2, programs update, and 6.2.1, registration updates. Is that you, Paul?
It is. Yeah, camp is moving along. We're creeping up on the 2,000 registration mark. That's what kind of what our unofficial target has been for the summer. Staff are working away at planning their training week and getting ready for the kids that starts on June 29th. So, and we have 10 weeks of summer this year. So, yeah, looking good there. Aquatic registration is pretty much right on track. We're looking, except for our swim team is down a little bit this year, so anybody out there that's listening that has a kid that wants to join a swim team, please sign up now. Probably our registration for our drop-in programs might be a little bit lower to start the season. We'll address the elephant in the pool. Our heaters have been a little slow on the working side of things, so it's been a little chilly, but this warm weather thankfully is warming things up. So plan is we'll have those up and going hopefully sooner than later, but yeah, seeing a little drop in attendance with a little drop in temperature.
It should be mentioned that the heaters themselves, and it's a difficult position that the maintenance staff are in, because you can't test the heaters until there's water in the pool, and you can't fire the heaters, then you can't run them if they're not working, right? So it's a very, very short time frame from when we fill the pool to the time we open the pool. So there is a bit of a challenge there. And then they also sit in an empty environment for 9 months, 8 months out of the year. So it's a challenging environment. So nothing, I know I'm on him every day, so I know he's tired of hearing it. So.
Okay, any comments or questions?
Yeah, certainly not for lack of efforts. Yeah, 6.2 seniors pilot project. No big updates. We have closed the posting now, so we are moving on to the interview stage. We have some really good candidates, so looking forward to getting that completed and get that planned for ideally late September, early October start to really kick this project off. Just to note again on the seniors pilot project, won't change the programs that we already provide. It's only going to add more to it. So with this based out of Caradoc Community Center for the most part, it doesn't mean that we won't be running the programs that run at West Middlesex and other locations. I think while we're mentioning those, it's good to mention that we will have some recreation programs running out of the Strathroy Community Caradoc or Christian School this summer. Some exercise and card programs will be there for seniors as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have for that, unless anybody has questions.
Questions or comments, Member Richards?
Yeah, thank you. Paul, I was just wondering, is the hope that this committee or board, whatever, will connect with other groups in town to see if we can get more people out? Like I'm thinking the Legion, I think in the seniors group art we got, there's probably 160, 270 people in that. I wonder if we could kind of team up together, and then when you put a project together, you've got X number of people ready to go. Okay, just like a communication line, basically.
Yeah, through the chair to Member Richards. We don't have a committee set up. I think that's what you mentioned from the start. But in the program planning piece of this, absolutely. Part of our success and goal is always to leverage partnerships and maximize as much as we can. So working with other groups will certainly be in our plans for making this operate. We already currently work with VON to provide programming at Caradoc Community Center, and that's not going to stop with this project either. That'll continue on. And then working with any other groups that we can is certainly something that we'll be doing, or at least exploring.
Councillor Buckman?
Maybe jumping the gun on this question, but obviously we're working on plans for 37 Frank, and I'm just curious if, when you're thinking about seniors programming, would you be trying to make sure that whatever you end up doing out at Caradoc Community Center could run here as well, if the demand is such that some of that programming comes back to Strathroy?
Through the chair to Councillor Pelkman. Again, we're always open to whatever. It's going to depend on the facility and what it lends to program-wise. There's part of the reason we're using Caradoc Community Center is because we have large spaces that we can run programs like pickleball. Unless there's something seriously that changes with 137 Frank, that won't be an option in that location. But a program like cards certainly is something that can happen. So our goal has always been to serve the entire community and serve it as well as we can. So if there's programs that we can offer in Strathroy to the residents of Strathroy, we're going to do that. And right now we're going to base the majority of this program out of a facility that we have the availability to do so. So that's going to be located in Mount Bridges, so it may require some people to travel a little bit if they want to come to the programs. It's going to be up to us to make sure that we provide programming that they want to drive for. So
I guess that the reason that I'm asking is I'm sure there's going to be some interdepartmental push between who wants that space. And so I'm just hoping that each department's already thinking about how they might be able to use it, get maximum usage out of it.
Always thinking. Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's the vague answer I have right now. We don't want to promise anything that we can't deliver, especially when we're announcing it like this. So, but we're going to explore every option to do the best that we can with what we have.
If I could just add to that, we don't have enough space now to run everything that we want to run. So the additional space would be a benefit. I think part of the challenge that we have is we don't know exactly what the full direction is, right? So to sit here and say, yes, we'll do programming in that building, the assumption is we will, right? But we don't know what the overall direction is at this point. So the name on the building is Municipal Service and Community Center. One would lead to it being programmable. So
I think it's good to mention too that come the end of October, we're going to see that we're on the same direction that we are now. That very well may change. So we want to prepare for whatever.
Any other comments or questions about the seniors program? Pilot project. I actually just wanted to, make a comment about 137 Frank, because it seems to me online that the municipality's taking some heat about that now for whatever reason. But it's not as if the municipality is not offering seniors programming within Strathroy-Caradoc. It's just a matter of, is it the space there that might make the difference? Is that sort of what you're saying as far as offering comparable programming with the community center in Knockbridges?
Yeah, and I think kind of to build off of Rob's comment is we don't have the facilities to do the programs that we want to do. A big part of that is gym space, that we would like to have more gym space because we do have a high demand for programs that require gyms. We can make it happen at the Caradoc Community Center, where a place like 137 Frank, we just can't. So that certainly lends to it as well. Yeah.
I'll add to that.
Councillor Falcon, go ahead.
So, seeing as I was on the senior center board for 6 or 7 years, there is more programming going on now than there ever was when the senior center was operating. There's more tenants than there ever was. And just want to remind people that a lot of the stuff that happened at the senior center wasn't actually seniors programming. It was other community groups using the space and paying rental rates that were way, way below the cost of even operating the room. And so, that was one of the problems that we faced, that when we even tried to make the rent for the cost of the room for the hours that they were using it, a third of our tenants left. And so people need to understand that when you're trying to run a center, there's a cost. And if the municipality were to run it as the senior center board was, that would mean there would have been 2 employees there all the time over large spans of the day, when there's maybe 5 or 6 people in the building, if that sometimes. So that was a very difficult situation to try and get over. And just as I said, there's more programming going on now and more attendance than there was. So.
Oh, that's great. It's great to get that clarification out there for people. So, any other comments or questions then before we move on to item number 6.3, project updates.
There you go. Thank you, Chair. Just a few updates from the last meeting. We have a multitude of capital projects on the go right now around the community. So there's lots of action at many sites right now. If anybody's looking to get out and see what happens in the early stages of some of these projects. So Yorkview Community Park, Baseball fence is nearing its completion right now, new outfield fence and backstop on Diamond 2. So that's been completed over the last couple of weeks. We had to take a little break for baseball day, so which was a hit, so I'm told. So it was busy. It was busy. So yeah, so the new batting cage was officially open, and Glasgow Properties, Jamie and Sue Lumen were in attendance, along with the mayor, to open that. So that's a really nice addition to that site. Yorkview Community Park washroom renovations, the tender's closed on that project. And it's going to be going to council the next meeting for approval. So hopefully we can see that upgrade and the update to those washrooms to create a accessible space there, hopefully by the end of the year. We've had a bunch of RFPs out lately. One was a janitorial RFP for our municipal sites. That is closed, and we'll be having different vendors supplying janitorial services at multiple sites, fire stations, and libraries, municipal office, and as well as a new company looking after the building and maintenance and janitorial services for Caradoc Community Center. That's that. Campbellvale Park. So I guess we don't call it a park, we call it a park space or an open space. It's a drainage plan's out for tender. It closes this Friday, so there's an open space that's had a lot of water issues. So we're looking at rectifying those issues and looking at putting a drainage system in there to dry that lot up a little bit. West Middlesex and Gemini refrigeration plant controls. These are well overdue for replacement. They were approved in capital this year and have been awarded to Simcoe Refrigeration and should be installed over the next month or two. Our park bridges, this project is for the bridge at Victoria Street at the turnaround on the Rotary Trail, as well as the bridge in the back Centennial Park behind the Lions disc golf course. So these two projects were awarded to Lincon Construction out of Paris, Ontario. So we're going to see some nice new bridges installed in those spaces to increase the safety component and accessibility in those spaces. So South Grove Park, this is a project that we've been working on since 2022. So this is one of our longer projects, I would say. Work's finally begun this week. The pathway component's been stripped out, as well as the base excavation for the playground area. So if anybody wants to go for a walk and check out what's going on a full playground project from start to finish, this is a good opportunity. Again, back to 137 Frank, the renovations are moving well. The office spaces are coming around, and lots of good things happening there, running in line with our expectations on completion on this project. HVAC upgrades at the Gemini. We had one unit that was life cycled out, luckily just in time, and has been replaced. We have a couple other units just waiting for final numbers to come back into council, and we'll get those reports in the next council cycle, the next council meeting. Heater replacements at West Middlesex. So these are the tube heaters over the stands. So these heaters were delivered today. Work starting tomorrow to complete this replacement. They should be done by July 1st. We also are installing a set of heaters over top of the unheated stand section, which will be a welcome delivery for the people that use that space on a regular basis for games.
As part of that project, the push buttons.
Yes. So we also have included push buttons in this project. So before staff would turn the heaters on, they run a timer. Hopefully the timer timed out. If it didn't, somebody would have to make sure they go back and turn those heaters off so they didn't run all night. We've installed a new set of time controls, which are push button time controls, so they run for 1 hour. If somebody's cold and they need to turn the heat back on, they're gonna have to hop up and go push the button and turn it on for another hour. So it's a good system. We've had it at the Gemini now for 10 or 12 years. It's been pretty effective in giving the users control of when the heat comes on, instead of having to track staff down every time.
I'll just tell you a quick story about how those came about. I worked in Louisville, Kentucky for 6 months, and I was in the rink, and this lady got up out of the stands and she pulled out a dollar bill and she walked over to the wall, and the dollar bill disappeared, and the heat came on for 15 minutes. So the heat goes off. She went over to the wall with another dollar bill, and the heat came on. And when I came back to Ontario, I was like, well, that's something we got to do in our facilities, right? Like, so each heater is on a timer. And my boss of the day looked at me and says, if you do that, you'll get run out of town. He says, you can't get people to pay for heat, right? So I was like, well, it's just a timer. When I started here, we put them in here. And so you don't heat up all the heaters don't come on, just the heater you're standing under comes on. So it was just, it was interesting when I saw the lady get up and this dollar bill goes on the wall. I was like, well, that's kind of neat, right? So anyway, sorry.
No worries at all. We've always thought it would be a good fundraiser to put a coin box underneath it and see who's willing to donate, and have no knowledge that it actually didn't have an impact on that heater.
Might pay for that rink that's only going to run from 4 to 9, right?
It may. It may. We have a condenser replacement also scheduled for West Middlesex. This has been awarded to Clogier Refrigeration. This is going to be installed in August before the ice season starts in September, which is coming soon. Gateway signage. So if you've been out and about around the community, you'll have seen the new gateway signs, and the service club signs have been installed. I believe today the old signs came down, so I'm sure there's been a few tears shed by some, but yes, they have come down, and we're working on remediation of landscapes and stuff like that over the next few weeks. You'll see the service club signs with the new service club logos installed, and everything should be put back together in the near future. We are looking at some landscape features around the bases of the gateway signs coming into town. The county does require a plan put together, so we went back to A-Link to come up with a landscape design plan that's approved by the county for those signs, as they are on county road allowance. So that's in queue currently. Plate and frame replacements at the Gemini, just another one of these capital projects that we have to work through. Plate and frame is a component of the refrigeration system, the refrigeration plant. As we're not shutting down our refrigeration plant this year for the summer, we do have to time this very, very carefully as to have this completed in an unbroken period of 10 or 12 hours, Rob, at the best. So anyway, we're gonna wait until November, December to get that project in when it's cold enough outside. We have a little bit of a safety net there. So and then painting of the pool basin. This has been kind of an outstanding item for a couple of years. Council has funded this project this year, and we hope to get this completed in September. The spring is a very difficult time, as Rob noted, that we can't make the pool run without water, and we also can't put water in the pool on fresh paint. So it's difficult. If we want to have a pool in June, we have to paint in September. So it's a very time sensitive issue, and
You're gonna curse that tree.
The tree's not the problem necessarily.
It's the leaves falling off the tree.
It's the leaves. You know, if they would just stay on the tree, we just wouldn't have this issue. But yeah, no, it's so this is a project that's you're going to see come up in the fall here. So other than that, we have lots of tiny little projects that I'm probably not going to bore you with. Any questions?
Any questions or comments for Donald?
Doesn't sound like you've been busy at all, Darren. One of the ones that you didn't necessarily mention that's completed is the Lucas Park, and the reason I bring it up is because I think it's great that we've moved away from the cookie cutter kind of parks that were the style years ago. I live in the area there, and I see it used all the time. It's got some cool little features. And actually the parents love it even more because it's got a great little seated area for them. So it just, now when we do parks, every single park has its own life and its own way and something different. I think it's awesome, like from Salisbury to Lucas to South Grove to all these parks are looking different, and just at least I see in our neighborhood, the people using it are loving it. And yeah, so kudos for the creativity and doing things different.
Councillor Pelton?
I will just add a thank you for keeping all that under control. And
Well, who said it was under control?
it sounds like you got a handle on it all. And that's I mean, for those who if you're listening, with the mayor's budget this year, he decided to include a lot of recreation projects that have been put on hold for years and years and years and years. And so now they all come at once. So thanks for, I'm sure that's definitely a lot of extra workload than what you're used to, but just I wanted to thank you for that.
Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? I did want to mention, I do like the consistency of all the signage now. I think all the municipalities, properties had signs, and now you have the signs coming in and out of town. So yeah, that I like. All right, moving on then to item number 7, announcements and inquiries by members, and we'll go around the shoe, starting with Member Richards.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chair.
I just had a question. Curious, I know Kate was pulling double duty for a long period of time, and just wondering how the programmer is working out.
Wonderfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Tracy has been a great addition to the team. I mean, still to some degree can say that she's getting her feet wet in some areas, but she's running in others. So I think we're going to see some really good stuff in recreation programs coming up in the near future, and keep the quality that we've wanted to sustain since we started doing these programs. That's always been one of the big things, is we don't want to just run programs to run programs. We want to run quality programs that people want to stay in the community and do. So yeah, I think
I was going to say, from the public's perception, they probably weren't aware that we were running one person short. So good job. Definitely.
Kate and I both had, and Darren all had more hair before we started this. Yeah.
What's wrong with my hair?
Hair looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Member Frechenda, anything from you?
Nothing for me, thanks.
And nothing from me as well. So I guess we'll have to discuss the schedule of meetings. Understandably, we do take the summer off, usually July and August. Would we be reconvening in September, or would there be a break then until after the election?
So this is my opinion. This is the second meeting in a row where we've almost struggled to meet quorum. So I'm going to suggest that we break for July, and August will potentially be in lame duck. So yes, we will be in lame duck. No, we will be, because we've got to. Yes, we'll be in lame duck. So we won't meet again until this will be our last meeting as a committee. unless there is a committee call or a meeting called by the chair prior to August 21st. So.
Okay, well then that said, I'll keep in contact with you guys, and if anything comes up for September, then we'll schedule a meeting. Otherwise, moving on then to number 9, adjournment. Can I get a mover and a seconder then for adjourning the meeting? Member Richards and member Fachenda. And that's it. Meeting adjourned.
I'm in favor too.
Oh, you're all in favor, sorry? Aye, all right. You guys have it.